What's up, guys? So I've got a couple watches to show off. These are going to my buddy Pat. I was supposed to have one done to send with one I did for him not too long ago, and then send this one separate. But we had a little bit of an issue with engraving on the clasp, so I ended up getting everything to do both of these at the same time. So you're getting 3 watches. I just got to find a box for you. But here, offhand, is your West Virginia build. So this one, we kept it nice and clean. So the only color we've got is in the dial. So we've got a brushed case, brushed bezel on here, one of those tapered bezels that come up and over. Brushed engineered on it. We got Mountaineers here on the clasp. Low profile. Oh, not a low profile. One that I didn't do a low profile on. An engraved West Virginia logo caseback. And then we've got the West Virginia logo on the crown. And then we did this. This is a hand-painted dial. It is in brass. Then the wife hand-painted the WV in the center and the border all the way around. It's a little tough to paint. But able to do it, obviously, and then brushed it. She went around and pipped it, and then I happen to have a set of hands. I've had these hands for over a year because I thought, when am I ever going to use a loom that has like a yellowish color in it? I don't know when I ever will. So they've sat in a box, and it was the first ones I thought of. I was like, well, white isn't necessarily, if they were silver, that would have been better, but I don't have loom like this. The company that I bought them from has loom like that, obviously. So I was like, well, white doesn't look bad at all. It stands out nicely against it. And I thought looked great. So I was very happy with the way that this one turned out. So these are obviously going to be the same, so I can just kind of go over. Your bezel will turn left and right. It does not click, but there are no numbers on it, so it doesn't really matter to you. Automatic mechanical, just like all the other ones I've sent you. But if it's dead or you're not going to be very active, make sure you wind it up just a little bit. And now you do it as you back the crown off the threads. And see, you can hear it clicking. And then you can wind it. And a wind doesn't turn away from you. Turning it towards you doesn't do anything. But it's a lot easier to keep your finger spacing and just go back and forth. So this is just me showing you that, even though you already know, in case somebody else is watching. So if you do it for about 20 seconds, you will max out your 31 plus hour power reserve, which is what I do because I built this the other day and I don't wear your watch around. I just make sure it is running and keeping time. When you're good, you pull it to the one and only click, and you can now set the time. It does not have a hacking movement, so it's going to just keep going on you. Some watches, when you pull the crown out, they stop. Actually, most watches do. So that you can perfectly set them, but with these, they just keep going for the seconds hand. Okay, Google, what time is it?
4:26 p.m.
4:26 p.m. So we're down here, right? When you're good, push it back over, get it out of that time setting. Oh, I did not. Dude, what am I doing? Am I not getting it? That should have been it right there. Okay. I wasn't getting it out. All right, I'm going to do that a couple more times just to make sure I'm not... Because normally you get it and you push it over and you get it out of that. Okay, I wasn't getting out of that. So I'm going to test it a couple more times since we're together here. Okay. Just want to make sure I was nothing wrong. It'll be about 27 now. Okay. I wasn't getting out of that. So, yeah, you want to make sure you're getting out of there, because if it's not out of it, that first turn, once it starts pushing, once it grabs onto the threads and it starts going down, then that was taking it out of it. So it was still in contact for a second, moving it. So just make sure you get it pushed over. I always kind of do the tap because it kind of throws it in there a little bit. So I do like the tap on that. So, but yeah. So same as everything on like every other build I've done, but that's how you get it out of that. So that is that build right there. The other build, I had a compass style, and to make sure that the black was the same, we bead blasted it, and then cerakoted it in the same black that we did the rest of the build in. So black cerakoted SS band case. It's a different case. This is a 150 case versus your 350 case. You can kind of see on the lugs here how they come down and in versus. Let's see if this my phone will want to. So different lug look to it. Overall same size. Width-wise, just a little bit different of a style. So black cerakoted band, low profile exhibition caseback on it, and I might swap out the little thing on this one because sometimes when this goes down, this little knob here goes under there and kind of stays. So not sure why it's acting up, but low profile exhibition caseback, black rotor on it, stainless steel movement holder, black crown, and then to not take away from this dial, I did a thinner silver handset on this because the bigger ones you would kind of essentially cover this up where you can't see it as much. So I did a thinner silver handset on it. And so with Cerakote, what he tells me is if you ever put like a little scratch in it, hit it with gun oil or WD-40. And unless you've scratched it all the way down to where you can see silver in there, which with this, since that's distressed, if you ever do that, it probably would just kind of tie into this nicely. Because this is a distressed dial, you can also distress this. And if you look at my old builds, you've seen I used to do that. I used to take scuff and just go down the corners and do like silver exposure, here and here. So it kind of looks cool when you do that. Nothing on the clasp other than just BVW. We didn't put anything on there, no compass reference or anything like that. But that is this build, and it does the same way. You're the same on this. Wind, pull it out. That was, 430 there. When you're good, you just put her back where you want. Throw it out, and you hear it click. That's what you're listening for. Okay, Google, what time is it?
It's 4:30 p.m.
4:30 p.m. So I need to go back just a hair. Just like that. One little thing. There we go. And that's that build. So thin silver handset. Done on this one. On this one was the white Ranger with the yellowish lume to it. It said 430. It's 431. I bet you it says 431 if I pull it up now. So there are your builds, good sir. As with every build, you get your matching beads with them. I know you're not a bead guy, but you're going to get them anyway. You got your West Virginia box, your compass box, and inside your compass box is your build card on your compass. Inside your other box, let's see, your steel pilot build. I forgot. It can just go in your steel pilot box. I put 2 in one of them. Not realizing that it's sitting right here. So, build cards here on the side. Your other watch that you will be getting, that's been sitting here waiting patiently to go out. Build cards that are on the side. So, that's everything, good sir. Plus, I'll be sending you watch cleaners for each of them. Good on all glass and metal parts. So this watch as a whole, it's good for that one. Then it would just, actually in that one and that one, because we didn't do any leather. All right. Man, I need to look up instead of looking, just looking around me. Fine scratch remover. This is good on your glass. It's an acrylic glass. You can scratch it, but if you do, put a tiny bit on it, buff against it, filling that scratch with your included microfiber. Buff against it, and you should knock it out in about 20 minutes. If you use generate some heat, use your thumb. So you're going to be getting your 3 watches, sir. West Virginia compass build and your steel pilot build. So as always, Pat, I appreciate you a ton, man. And Pat just moved from being relatively a neighbor, and it wasn't until he moved that I started building them watches. So it'd be so much nicer if he was right here You can come check him out himself. But thank you, man. I appreciate you a ton. And if you want me to build you something custom and unique, reach out and I'll see what I can do. And if you want to continue to see videos like this, like and subscribe as I put them up all the time. Thanks for watching, guys.